Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Secrets of Aal'Teron. My name is Brandon the DM, your Dungeon Master, Game Master, interchangeable for legal reasons, whichever term you prefer. And I'm joined by I'm joined by the cast, starting with the bearded man. I had a stroke like fucking Grizz last week. Starting with Grizz to this side.
Hey everyone, I'm Grizz Squatch. I go by the same handle over on TikTok, and tonight I'll be playing Aal'Teron, the Human Ranger.
Hey, I'm Steak Saucy. I play Zorthos on the show, and I just slapped open a whole Lunchables right before this recording.
He did. Can verify.
Very
yeah, we were all here.
I'm Brian Block, and Steak just slapped open a big can of Lunchables before we started recording.
And you're playing who, Brian Block?
Who gives a shit at this point?
That's the content, folks. Have a good day. Thanks for coming.
That's
Bye.
what happens. We get 20 plus episodes in. It's like, fuck it, who cares anymore?
Everyone knows who I am. I don't know you shit.
Anyway, that's real Brian Grace, who plays Edgelord in this game. And last off, we have Thick Pastel.
Hi, it's Thick Pastel, and I'm playing Luna, currently in bear form. Yay!
Yay! Oh yes, yay! Let's do a little recap of last week's episode. You all finished talking to Luna's parents, where they gave Luna a kind of like a grimoire, new study book that is the startings of a new circle that her father has been working on to counteract the magic of Vitalis Goldwillow. You gathered some supplies and decided that it was time to head to Elvenglade, and you set off for Elvenglade indeed to speak to Tylor and Lord Vasori, or Duke Vasori. Throughout the travel on your way there, Zorthos did have a little interaction with his haunt that he has, his Fey Touch, the spirit of Colt that is kind of haunting him, but not in a bad way.
It's very bad. I'm being haunted.
It's very bad. He's being haunted. Grizz and Luna had some drawn-out, meaningful dialogue that they probably needed to finally have to really start hashing out what the fuck is going on with their relationship and in their life and just everything else in general, while Louston continues to be dark and edgy, and be dark and edgy. Eventually, the party made their way to Elvenglade, to the gates, where they noticed that the entire city was on pretty much complete lockdown. However, it was not being sealed with the magical barrier because the Mythalar is now destroyed between the dispel magic and the bombs that hit the city, so now they're just on high alert, and they have, for the first time in almost 2 decades, alerted the Elvenglade's elites, which are pretty much like structures or construct soldiers that are made by the elves that are empowered by magic. Eventually, the party made the way to the Spire, where they were having a grand council meeting with Duke Vasori, Tylor, and some other council members here in Elvenglade to figure out what to do. The party informed them of what they found out in Haxos, with the Spectre being back, and more news they did not want to hear, which informed the king that they had really just sent men to die for almost no reason. And with that being said, Louston started getting very snarky with the king in his throne room, and he didn't like that, calling him a coward in other words, and they got into it verbally until the king finally got enough, snapped his fingers, and brought some of the Elvenglade elites to life, leading into a combat session, swinging down on Louston, with Luna jumping into bear form, trying to tell the king not to do this. With a failed persuasion check, she jumped into battle and engaged with Louston against these constructs. Aaron, not knowing what to do, pulled out the Scroll of Banishment. Zorthos snuck the fuck out immediately as soon as it happened. And the last time we saw was Aaron cast the Banishment spell, the scroll he got in episode 4 on Louston. He failed a saving throw and then went delivered to a plane of non-harm, or what is it? A non-harmful
It's a harmless demiplane.
Harmless demiplane. That's what it is. And Luna stands there in bear form, with this Elvenglade elite standing over top of her with his sword in the air, ready to swing, and that's where we're starting this week's episode. Right there. Luna.
I have a clarification question.
What's your clarification?
You said he was the king. He's always been a duke. Which is it?
He's the duke. He's king.
Okay.
Lord. Yeah, he's the duke.
He's the duke. You got it.
We'll see.
We'll see. On God? Anyways.
It's only a minute, so.
Luna, does a 17 hit?
Not a thing. No. Yeah. Yes, it does.
Okay. You take 20 slashing damage as this Elvenglade elite, this construct, just turns, sees that Louston's gone. You guys see this 10-foot tall construct slashes into Luna in bear form. Aaron, your father looks at you and goes, "You need to pull her out of this now and stop this before you all get arrested."
I'm ignoring this. I'm going to step in between Luna and the construct. And I'm going to look at Duke Visorai and say, okay, tensions are high, emotions are raw right now. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. We have exactly 60 seconds to explain a lot of stuff that needs to be said. Yes, this man was angry. Yes, his anger was misplaced. We need to do a lot more than just have a little pissing match in a war room. Let's hash out what we need to hash out. People are dying right now as we're speaking, as we're fighting in your kingdom over some words.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Sure I can't bump him in the back and give him guidance?
No.
Dang.
Not after he gave his whole speech.
That's gonna
he says the
19.
entire thing, and then you give him a guidance.
That's true.
19.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at you. And he says, I suggest you sit down immediately and take your friend with you and sit and keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
The sentinel stands, waiting.
We have
ready to
30. We have
swing
30
again.
seconds, and as after I say that, I pull out my shield and stand about in front of where Lawson was standing.
You're not going to sit down.
Not yet.
Roll for initiative to see where you are in combat.
I haven't
He asked
taken
you
any
to-
aggressive action.
He asks you to sit down, and you pull out a shield. I want to see where you are. You taking an action, or are you like preparing?
He said he
I'm
was
just
gonna stand.
preparing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
stand.
I'm saying to see if you are quick enough to. This essentially is to see if when he swings, if you have a quick enough time to do like a reaction to like try to do anything, or if as soon as you
okay.
pull your shield out, he recognizes that and is like, "Oh fuck you," and just goes down. That's all I'm
Okay.
asking.
13.
13. Okay, yes, he is not that high in initiative, so you would definitely just kind of hold your shield up, kind of
Mhm.
like waiting, and the Duke just kind of like winces his eyes and looks. Luna, you have an action to take. Then it goes to Grizz, and then the Sentinel.
I'm gonna sit down.
Okay.
I'm gonna plop my bare butt down on the ground.
Oh, do you just you just sit where you're at?
Well, yeah, because I can't come out of. I'm not gonna waste
Yep,
this.
I
form.
gotcha. When you sit, you see that the elite kind of doesn't completely lower his arm, but kind of goes at an ease a little more as Visorai's kind of like looks like he's almost like pseudo controlling him. Grizz, you see the Luna says, "What would you like to do?"
I'm just holding my shield in front of where Lawson was standing.
Not attacking. You're just kind of like holding it up.
No,
Okay,
I'm just
cool.
preparing
You're
for
not
when
showing
he
any kind of,
comes
hostile.
back.
Gotcha. Okay. He is not about to swing on you, as you can tell. Visorai kind of like waves his arm down and notices that you're not engaged in combat. This is more of a protective stance just to be safe. And he looks and he goes, "Now please, let's sit down and then we will have ourselves a conversation."
In 10 seconds, I will.
There's going to be a lot more that happens in that 10 seconds. Trust me, because we're going to get to that here in a second.
Okay.
But first, we're going to go to Zorthos. Zorthos, where did you go?
I took off outside. I'm looking for like a thrift shop or like a flea market or like a cheap bazaar.
You would probably have to go back down to like the lower
Or
district of
bazaar.
town, like the initial one where you guys first like were in that tavern.
Yeah, I'm
like, episodes
taking
ago.
off. I
Okay.
know shit's about to go down. I know that my party is going to get themselves killed or imprisoned or banished or eaten by a dragon or something, and I got to go get stuff. So
Okay.
I'm rushing to the lowest form of market I can find.
Yeah, you easily make it to some sort of just like secondhand like consignment shop where they just have like scraps of clothes and like just blankets and hoods and those
Okay.
sorts of wares. You kind of rush in. You do notice that you get some looks as you kind of like run by because there are these elites kind of like patrolling through town, but you were given access into here, so they're not really like stopping you by any means.
Right. They're not giving me a hard time. They just
Yeah,
noticed
exactly.
me.
Yeah, they notice you, but you got clearance to be in here, so they're not like going after you by any means. So you make it down to the lower district of town, where the gates to Cantor are.
Okay.
And you do find yourself a shop. As you walk in, you see that there is an elven woman that kind of sits. She looks a little A little tired, a little concerned. You see that she is kind of sewing, and when the bell rings when you open the door, she looks over and goes, "Oh, can I help you?"
Oh yeah. So
You are sweating.
yeah. Jogging, actually.
Oh.
Some of my friends call it yogging, but they're pretentious.
Right.
Yeah. Whew, just wanted a nice little jog down here to the clothing store. You mind if I browse?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't get a lot of customers.
Yeah. Okay, don't mind me. I'm just gonna go looking around.
Do me a favor, roll me just like a performance check to see how well you're keeping your cool. You're very blatantly nervous.
14.
I'll just have her do like an insight check. Yeah, she doesn't really she just kind of brushes it off. You can tell she's a little concerned. She's just like, okay, but she is kind of like keeping her eye on you. Just
yeah, I'm gonna just start grabbing cloaks, maybe like cool gloves. Even if I'm not looking for like quality, I'm just like looking for something noticeable, something different. So I'm getting like different. I'm like basically trying to build a couple different disguises here on the budget.
Gotcha. I like it.
I want a disguise to where I can wear a hood and look like a mysterious stranger. And then like maybe an outfit to where I look like maybe like a pompous, well-to-do guy, but with like old tattered clothes.
Okay.
And maybe one is just like a scumbag.
Do me a favor, roll me an investigation check.
Hell yeah.
As you're going through to see how much of this you actually do find.
I got a 3. Oh, well, I got bonuses to investigation. So actually that is a 4, 5, 6. That's a 10.
Okay, with a 10, you don't find exactly everything that you're looking for, but you do find like, oh, yeah, you know what? Good enough. It'll get the job done. You know, not exactly the highest classes stuff.
Yeah, nothing that's going to give me like advantage on rolls. I've got like the basic of disguises.
Enough to get you by, but not enough to like make you like, a professional looking, attire.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, I get that stuff, and then I would like to use maybe a little bit of thieves' cant around the city in shadier areas. I've got the ability City Secrets.
Yes.
And I'm proficient in thieves' cant. I'm looking for some type of like fence, some place where scumbags would go.
Yeah, do me a favor.
To buy stuff.
So we'll do one more roll for you. Roll me another investigation check as you were looking around for some sort of sign. You can do it with advantage because you do have the city secrets that allow you to traverse the city a lot easier, and you've been here a couple times.
19.
19. So you go to, where you initially got shot with the arrows, and you kind of laid down, and
I'll never forget. Horrifying moment.
Yes. You find yourself going back to that way because there's like a lot of homes that are kind of in that direction.
I don't like this scene.
And you re.
This is where we almost died.
She points at herself, goes re, and points back at you. But you do find some familiar markings on a tree that are kind of directing you to go this way. So while you're continuing to follow that trail, let's skip over to the banished boy, Aal'Teron. Aal'Teron, you are in a harmless demi-plane.
What does that mean?
You pretty much into existence. And you look around, and you see, in, how do I describe the scenery so it best fits you so you know where you're at? In Endgame, when Gamora dies, and she's kind of like when Thanos got the Soul Stone, and he's kind of like in that weird, just kind of like water plane. It's like got this orange hue around it. That's essentially what you're in right now. You look around, it's kind of got this orange, kind of bright, but yet dim look to it. It looks like you're standing on like water. You look around, there's almost nothing here. It just goes on almost for eternity. But you do hear from behind you. Hello?
I turn around.
Turn around, and you see what looks like a teenage girl. No older than like 15, 16 years old. It's kind of like sits on her knees. She's wearing a dress. You tell she's been crying, a little scared. She looks up at you and she goes, "Who is are you here to take me back? Is it done?"
Who the heck are you?
Oh.
Sammy?
Sammy? Sammy who?
You don't know who? How? Wait a minute. Who are you?
That's not important. Where are we?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I was sent here because my father, he said it'd be safer here for me until it was done.
What?
Until he said I'd be safer here until the world was in his hands. And then he would give me the world.
Who is your father?
You don't know him?
You haven't told me who it is.
My name is Sammy Bluestone. I'm the daughter of Prince Frederick Bluestone.
Of what nation?
The main city. The main capital of what used to be Aal'Teron before the calamity.
Interesting. Why are you here, Sammy? Why were you sent here?
My dad said that I knew too much, and that it'd be safer for me here, and he'd send someone to bring me back when it was done.
I'm sorry, I don't think that is me. I was sent here by my friend out of fear.
My father sent me here out of fear. You see she kind of like reveals her hands a little bit, and you see in each palm she has some sort of like arcane sigil that has like a very slight blue hue to it, and she kind of like closes her hands again. He said that if I was there when his plans were in effect, then I'd be a liability.
What plans?
I don't know. He just said he was gonna make the world ours.
Does your father have friends?
Yeah,
Like who?
just people in the kingdom.
Any names? Anyone familiar?
Not that I would know of. I mean, there's my grandpa Aldine.
Your grandpa.
He's the king. You would know that Aldine Bluestone is the king of...
Wait, would I know that? Because I know I
You
don't
wouldn't
even know
that.
where
Never mind. You wouldn't know
Lawson
that.
doesn't know
Scratch that.
shit
Yeah. never
about the capital or whatever it is.
mind. I know he talks to my grandpa a lot. His name is Aldine. He's the king of the old Aal'Teron kingdom. He used to be the king of Aal'Teron in its entirety before the calamity and the nations split and became their own kingdoms.
Can I roll a quick Arcana check to see if I just by looking around, do I know anything else about this plane itself? Like,
Go ahead. Yeah.
just any other indication? Like, would I know that this is a demiplane, basically a
Yeah.
trap? This
Yeah, go
place
ahead
is a
and roll.
trap.
Yes.
13.
You don't know exactly what it is, but you can definitely tell that it is harmless. There's nothing here that is going to harm anybody, bring any kind of like negative like effects to anybody. And it's almost, you can almost tell like time is almost like at a weird like stop and halt here. You look around and you see like the sky warns you it's not moving. You look at the water that you kind of stand on, and every time you take a step, instead of it like kind of like rippling out, there's no ripples. Everything's pretty well still here for the most part. This is some sort of demiplane that is essentially, you wouldn't call it a prison, but it could be assumed that it is some sort of just like holding place.
Sammy, how do you know how long you've been here?
I don't know. Couple
Have you
days,
tried-
couple weeks, couple months, I can't tell.
Have you tried leaving?
I've tried walking a lot, but I just keep walking and walking, and it's the same thing over and over. It's all of this. And then when I fall asleep finally, I feel like I've slept for days upon days.
Is it
But I
perhaps time is not relative here as it is in our world?
don't know. I know I'm not hungry. I know that I don't get too tired, but I do try to sleep when I can, hoping that this is like a dream.
Child, this is not a dream. I feel this place is a prison.
She stands up from where she's kind of like knelt on the ground, and she walks over to you, and she goes to like, just kind of like, because she's, a little shorter than you. Like I said, she's probably like 15, and she goes to like put her hand like kind of like on your arm, like slowly, just to like.
Would like to roll a dexterity check to move back as quick as I can and say,
Oh.
"Don't touch me."
Go ahead and roll me a dex check.
If I could like move.
Yeah, she's not moving. She's not
quicker
doing it
than
fast.
her?
She's very just like cautious about it. Like she's just trying to like just touch you.
That's an 11.
Yeah, you're fine. You just kind of step back.
Don't put your hands on me.
Just wanted to know if you were real, if I was seeing things.
If you touched me, you would be very hurt. It would hurt you. And I don't want that to happen.
So you're not here to bring me back. And you don't know what's going on.
Louston just kind of looks down at his hands, and I mean, he's still got those ghosts flying, or like those spirits flying all over him, and he's just going to extinguish those and just look back up at her and shake his head. And no, I'm not here to rescue you. Not in a way that you'd think, I guess, but something tells me I will get you out of here.
She looks around, looks back up at you. She says, "How?"
I don't know yet, child. I don't know. But
she takes one more step towards you. You see like a tear starts to kind of like roll from her eye. She goes, "Please just let me know you're real." Tries to like kind of just put your hand on you again.
I'm going to try and move out of the way.
Go ahead.
3.
You kind of like just slowly just kind of like do one of these and move your shoulder back as she's just trying to like put your hand like on your shoulder. And like I said, she's not moving fast, but like as you kind of like move back, like piece of your cloak kind of blows up just slightly, and her finger just kind of like taps it. That's really it. She doesn't like put her hand on you. Like there's no pressure. You just kind of like see the finger or the tip just kind of like hit the cloak a little bit. And as she does that, even with that, she kind of like spooks back a little bit and looks at her hand and like kind of like rubs her fingers together and goes, "So you are real?"
I guess I am.
And you see that she begins to, more tears kind of begin to fall from her face as she looks back up at you and says, "Please tell my dad to bring me back." And as she says that, you feel yourself get sucked out of wherever you are, and you poof back into existence to where you were standing, and you see that Aaron stands there with a shield with Luna sitting on the ground, and you can feel the tension in the room as you're back in the Elvenglade Keep.
I am going to be clear, Aaron is standing in front of me with the shield.
Yeah, you can tell he's standing right in front of the Elvenglade Elite that was attacking you. So you're kind of like right next to them, kind of like in the mix of this like little jumble, like this little 10-foot cube.
The second that I come back into this plane, I am going to, and whatever you want me to roll, I'll do it. Viciously, pull that shield out of the way and grab Aaron by the scruff of his clothing, not making skin on hand, not making contact with his skin, but holding him by the scruff, saying, "Send me back! Send me back now!"
I'm sorry.
Not even gonna have you roll. I'm not even gonna have you roll for it because you just kind of poofed, and it's the first thing you do. It's like very blatantly by surprise.
Yeah, I would feel like I would come in like, and it'd take like a beat for him to realize he's back, and then as soon as he's back, he's grabbing Aaron by.
And
by
as
the
this
scruff.
happened, you see that Tylor and Visorai are kind of like shaken a little bit because initially Visorai saw you come back, and he kind of like had his hand at a halt for the Sentinel to swing down again, thinking that you were going to go after the Sentinel or go after him or something, but instead you go after Aaron, and he just stops for a second, and he looks at Tylor, and he looks up the situation, and it's kind of wanting to see what happens and how it plays out.
Send you back where? What are you talking about?
Send me back to that plane now.
I can't. That was a one-way trip. One-way trip, one-way trip there, one-way trip back.
How?
It was a scroll. Like I don't have access to that.
Well, where'd you get it?
From the Northern Spire.
And I'll drop him at this. I'll
Give me a
let go
favor,
at this
Aaron.
point.
As you say that, roll me a perception check.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Man,
Yes,
Zorthos
plus
would hear me
8.
like, "Don't fess up to your crimes, sir."
Right. Honesty's the best policy sometimes. 17 plus 8.
When you say from the Northern Spire, yeah, you're fine. When you
Mhm.
say from the Northern Spire, you see that Visorai's eyes just widen and open up.
Yeah.
Looks down. He looks over at Tylor, and Tylor just kind of like looks down as well. He's letting the situation play out a little more as he's interested to hear. He's not being verbal right now, but he is listening to whatever Laustin is going on about. Continue.
I have to get back in now.
Why would you see over there?
And like, I'm gonna look around. And what is the status of the room at this point?
You
There's still
see that
guards
there's
up, right?
there's two elites that stand right behind Visorai, and there's the one that's right in front of you, and you see Visorai kind of has his hand up at a halt, and one clench of the fist or move of his hand, they'll attack. He's just kind of waiting right now, hearing what you have to say, because you've kind of piqued his interest a little bit.
As I
sentinel
look
stands
around,
right behind you, sword up, just waiting for the go ahead.
as Laustin looks around, he just like disengages and walks out of the room.
As you go to walk out, he goes, He snaps his fingers and the doors magically close in front of you before you kind of like are able to walk out.
Walk out. Well, I would imagine, just for clarity, walk out in like a huff, like.
Yeah, well, I'm saying you're
Yeah.
trying to walk
Yeah,
out. Of the room.
no, I
You
just wanted to give more detail to that walkout.
As you do that,
And
the door kind of slams in front of you. And Visorai stands. He says, okay, so we've developed a very interesting scenario here, this moment. Aaron, it appears that wherever you sent your friend here has caused him to go mad and crazy. However, he did start a fight and threaten me in my home. Your bear friend jumped in, and then I find out that you stole a scroll from the Northern Spire.
Mm-hmm. I'll admit to that. She was defending her friend. Any of us would.
You think that defending a friend is just cause for what is borderline treason? To question a duke in his home, to cause conflict like this in my quarters, to disrespect me, my methods? What makes any of you think that is okay? I welcome you into our kingdom, into our
I cast invisibility.
Laustin goes invisible, and as soon as he does, Visorai looks at the elites and goes, take them to the cells. Everybody roll initiative.
See, I was ready for a peaceful resolution of this. Now he's being a dick.
Yes.
Wait, who's being a dick?
Duke Visorai.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
now,
are we-
no, yeah,
wait,
no,
are
now
we now
fuck that
calling
guy.
him
With a
Dick
bag of
Visorai? Is
Dick
that what you're calling him now?
Visorai.
Come on, chat. Dick Visorai in chat.
Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't. Maybe not.
Meanwhile, well, initiative. Go ahead and roll your initiatives real quick. There's 3 elites, and there's 3 of you. Tylor sits just like in a shock right now, and he looks over at Aaron and goes, Aaron, just go. Don't do this. But in the meantime, let's go over to Zorthos.
Hey, it's me, Zorthos.
So you're following this tree line, where you are seeing some like familiar kind of like thievish etchings and markings that are leading you back to the home district of where like some civilians live here in Elvenglade.
Okay, cool.
I'm assuming you continue to follow, right?
Oh, for sure. I'd probably be wearing the cloak just so I'm not super obvious, just because like being obvious in a place like this or being normal in a place like this makes you stick out. So I'm going to try and look like a little bit more mysterious.
Okay. Dorthos, you continue to follow these markings, these etchings, and these kind of tree-lined, arrows that are essentially what you're reading in Thieves' Cant, what would be like a fence or like an underground trader.
Okay.
As you continue to follow them, this area looks very, very familiar to you. As the trees lead you to a mysterious but familiar-looking ladder to a tree up in a house, and this is Eldry's home.
Oh, no, I hate this guy.
As you're doing that,
no.
Colt's Feyhaunt comes out of the book and goes, yeah, there's a lot about my brother you don't know yet either.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Colt. A lot of things I don't want to know about your brother. Your brother's lame. You never told me he was so lame.
Well, I didn't really even tell you I had a brother in the first place, but you know.
Well, that was also, we haven't even got into that, Colt. There's a lot of things that friends would normally share that you didn't, which was also sort of lame. So maybe it runs in the family.
Maybe I'm just trying to protect my friends that need to have some, personal growth before they learn the deeper secrets of their friends.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You protected me, Colt?
Uh-huh.
All right, well, you want to go see your brother? Well, the book's closing. It's going back in the bag. Oh, no.
Gets sucked back into the book. But you stand in front of Zeldry's home with the ladder that leads up.
Damn it. I'm going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay.
And I want to look like a small male goblin. And I'm going to sort of take the gloves out. I'm going to sort of make myself look more roguish.
Again, you cannot change your race with Disguise
Why
Self.
not?
You can make yourself appear 1 foot taller, 1 foot shorter. You can change the color of your skin. You can change the type of clothes that you're wearing, but you can't change your racial features.
I'm just going to go in. No one's going to believe that a tall tiefling showed up. It's not related to Zorthos. No one's going to fall for that.
You climb up the ladder.
Okay.
And as you go up, you see on the door, kind of like underneath the handle, like where you would turn that. You look, and as you kind of like grab it to turn it, as you're turning, you do see and you would only see if you turn the handle, the same thievish etching you saw on the tree that led you here, signifying, yeah, you're in the right spot.
Okay.
I'm assuming you just go in. You're not gonna knock.
I'd make a loud coughing. I'd be like, "Bleh, bleh, hate this guy." And then go inside, I guess.
Yeah, you go in, and as you walk in, you see sitting at a table, writing some sort of script. It is Zeldry, Colt's brother. He looks up at you and goes, "Oh, I was wondering when I see you back here."
Yeah.
So what brings you here?
I gotta buy some stuff. And I followed the etchings, gang. I know what it is, and it brought me to you.
This could have been something I told you when I met you the first time, but
maybe you should have. I don't know.
Maybe you should be more polite when you're in somebody's home.
Okay, well, who knows? I didn't, force myself through the streets to come here on my own behalf. But whatever, go off, I guess.
I mean, I still welcome you in my home to give you information about my brother, and you were kind of a dick, so...
Okay, well, I'm glad to be here now. Can we continue?
You gotta, crosses his hand, leans back in the chair, and goes, "Are you glad to be here?"
I'm just gonna cross my arms and lean back in my chair and be like, yeah, I fucking love it.
Roll deception?
That's what I'm good at anyway. It's the only thing. Oh, no, wrong character. Oh, yeah. This character doesn't have a charisma. I can only lie when I use facts. An 11.
He chuckles and goes, "All right, you're gonna put the act up. I get. We didn't start from the right All right, I get it. You don't gotta put the act up. We didn't start off on the right foot. Anyways, yes, okay. Colt and I, we were quite the mischievous too, and did some similar things underground, as you probably are aware of now. So, hold on a minute." He walks over to his bookshelf and kind of pulls 2 books out, and you see behind us kind of some sort of handle. He kind of pulls it out, and you see the bookshelf turns around, and you see that there's an entire kind of wall with different sorts of weapons, materials, items, scrolls. He goes, "So, what kind of shit did you and your friends get into this time, and what can I get for you?"
First of all, my friends are fine. I left them talking to some very important political figures because we're starting to make an impact, and that's what we do now is we talk to politicians because we're at that level. So thank you very much. They're fine.
So what do you need? What do you need then?
Looking to get a couple things in case I got to do some stuff, like some lock picks, maybe some small concealable daggers. Do you have razor blades that I could fit somewhere into my hair? Do you have a belt that's actually a weapon and like a pen that is also like a knife? There's a couple things I'm looking for.
You're trying to break somebody out of prison, aren't you?
No, I don't even know anybody in prison because I'm a lawyer and I get dudes off.
Yes, you do, Zorthos. Yes, you do.
His Colt's brother is laughing at me right now. I'm gonna punch him.
What is this episode anymore?
He's absolutely laughing at you. He laughs, chuckles, goes, all right, let's see what we got. And it skips back over to the other three.
Okay.
Here we go.
What'd you get for your initiatives?
That was a good question.
Fight.
18 for Aaron.
14.
Allison, 14. Luna, what'd you get?
13.
Okay. Aaron, you are first. You see the other two guards that are behind Visorai that are about 30 feet away. Begin to march forward. And the one that had his sword raised, waiting for the signal, raises it higher as if he's about to swing, as Visorai has told them to take you to the cells for your acts of borderline treason in his quarters and also admitting to stealing from the keep.
Me. Which one of them struck Luna?
The one that's right in front of you.
Bet. Casting Searing Smite at 2nd level on that one.
Okay.
That's not a good roll though. That's my bonuses to that. It's +8. Yeah. 14.
That misses.
All right. Well, second hit, not with Searing Smite. That's better. 16.
What are you hitting him with?
Short sword.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Okay. And it's 8.
For 8, you clunk into his armor. It just kind of like bounces off, but you do see kind of like a little dent when you hit it with the sword. Louston, you are up. You are invisible. The guards have been ordered to take you to the cells. What would you like to do?
The doors that have been closed, are they big doors?
No, not necessarily. They're just like, I mean, they're big enough to fit the sentinels in, but they're not like, you know. Like
would I anticipate that they are magically sealed?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Okay, Arcana check. That is a 14 flat.
You can tell that it's not sealed. It was just like when he kind of like snapped his fingers, it just simply closed.
Fuck. That changes my plan.
It's not sealed closed.
So can you paint the picture for me? How far is Visorai from me?
About 30 feet. So you stand at the front of this room, and you stand right in front of the door because you're walking out. About 5 feet behind you, you have Aaron, and you have this Sentinel that are this elite that are kind of going at it, with Luna sitting behind Aaron in bear form. She has not went yet for her turn. About 30 feet on the opposite side of the room, on the opposite side of a table, is Duke Visorai, who sits there as he gave the go-ahead for the Sentinels to go ahead, and the other two Sentinels haven't moved yet. They are kind of standing next to him, but it looks like they're about to walk forward. So Visorai about 30 feet with two Sentinels next to him.
I'm going to, because I'm still invisible, I'm going to move up to directly behind Visorai, and I'm just going to grab him by the back of his neck. So that's going to be an attack with damage. And at the same time, on my other hand, because now I will be dispersing invisibility, with the other hand, I'm going to cast the spirits again. And so now shadows are just kind of flowing all around me as a bonus action. But with that first grab, and it's just a hit, it's not a grapple. Nat 20, 25, 25 to hit. He's gonna take. This is without the spirits, and I'm rolling for this plus 21. He takes 35 damage.
Wow! What kind of damage?
Necrotic.
You appear behind Visorai, and you grab the back of his neck, and grasp him with necrotic damage. You guys all see that Lawson appears out of invisibility. As you grab the nape of his neck, you can feel the sizzle, the burn, and just the rot away at his skin and flesh in the back of his neck as he gets lunged forward into the front of this table, almost like shoving himself into it and hitting his like ribs and stomach, wincing in pain as he turns, and you see there's burn marks on his neck, and he looks up at you and goes, "Oh, so now you're attempting to kill a lord?" But you have your second attack.
No, I don't think I don't have a second attack.
Oh, that was one of the everything.
That's a bonus action to intimidate, and I use on my neck. I have to buff it now to be able to use it later. But I am going to stand there and say, "You're the Lord of Nothing," and that's the end of my turn.
He looks at the elites and says, "Kill him now." Luna, you are up. You sit here in bear form, and this is happening.
I'm gonna talk to Aaron in his head. What do we do? Oh wait, sorry. Do we help Louston nod? Yes. If so. Okay. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and the sentinel that's closest to me. I'm gonna grab it in my mouth.
One that's right in front of
pin
Aaron?
it down.
The one that's right in front of Aaron?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an opposed strength check against the Elven Blade Elite.
Okay.
Are you rolling to hit and attack, or are you just doing like a straight grapple?
Straight grapple.
All right, roll me a opposed strength check.
21.
I got a dirty 20. So you pin this elite. Barely. It's a feat and a fight of strength as you struggle for a second, but you're able to kind of get it on the leg and pull it down as it clunks on the ground as you've got like its leg just kind of pinned down as it's trying to move and get up. Anything else, Luna?
And then I'm going to reach out to Louston. I gotta do this. No, yes, no way. Do you want our help? Nod yes, if so. And then I'll relay that to Aaron. And that's pretty much all I could do in my turn.
Okay. The elite that's on the ground that is currently grappled by Luna, he is going to try to bash you with his sword at disadvantage to try to kind of like get you off. First attack, does a dirty 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay. For 15 slashing damage. Second attack, does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay, tries a hit again. Swings, kind of glunks a sword off of the ground. Second two Elven Glade elites are up. They were ordered by Visorai to kill Lawson for attacking the Duke. They are both going to take their swords and swing down at Lawson twice. The first one, 12 to hit, I imagine is going to miss.
Miss.
The second one, 18 to hit.
Miss.
Okay, the second elite is going to go and also swing down at you. Does a 19 hit.
Miss.
Final one does a 19 again.
Miss.
You were just kind of back and forth, swerve, block, as they are rolling horribly.
I would imagine they're just hitting in because like I wouldn't move. I'm locked eyes.
It's probably
with this
like
guy.
hitting your armor and stuff that you have.
It's just
not really doing
connecting.
too much. Yes. Okay, top of the order, Aaron. What would you like to do? You look over and see that Lawson has now attempted to kill the Duke.
Honestly, by this point, fuck it. I'm going.
You ever seen The Breakfast Club?
Yes.
Ever seen The Breakfast Club when like
Yes.
what's his face turns around and goes, "Stop"? That's what your dad is just like. Stop.
All bets are off now. No, I'm going to continue swinging at this Elven Glade Elite. 2 attacks. I'd like to add marking this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be 19 on the die.
That's going to hit.
8. Okay. And that's going to be 7 plus 4, 11 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then second attack. 15 on the die plus...
That hits.
Okay. And just the 1d6 this time. 6 plus 4, 10.
Okay.
Alright. And I'm going to end my turn by dropping the shield and pulling out my other short sword.
Okay. Next up is Lawson. What would you like to do?
I'm going to absolutely grab him. I'm just seeing if I have. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna reach down because the guy's down, right?
He's like sitting in a chair. You have him like pinned against like the chair and the table. He kind of like turned around. He's doing one of these right now, and he's looking at the elites and telling them to attack.
Oh, he wasn't standing before?
No, he was sitting in the chair, just like. doing one of
Damn, that
these,
changes. I thought he was standing.
No,
okay.
He was sitting, just waiting to give the order.
Oh, well, then if he's looking back, then it's just going to be a ghostly hand palm to the face.
Roll to hit.
Gladly. 22, 17 plus 5.
He's going to reaction shield. And you see when you go to hit his face, since he's aware of your persistence now.
That's bitch move. That's a bitch move.
He's a spellcaster. He's just, you see
like...
an aura of magic kind of comes up and blocks the hand as you go to touch him in the face.
Okay, well, that was an action. That was not a spell. So if that's the case, then... Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, I should definitely be more prepared with this shit. And I'm going to immediately cast as a bonus action. Am I holding him at all and it's just not dealing the damage?
You can feel like when you go to do it, there's like some sort of like magical aura that like protects them from the damage from the shield spell he cast. So you make contact, but you can feel like this weird like aura in front of his face from the shield spell that he cast.
All right, so I still got the ghosts up, but then I'm just going to, with the other hand, just like cast Sanctuary on Luna and say, "Get out of here."
Okay.
Okay. Luna, it is your turn.
All right. As long, I will say back to Lawson, in his head, as long as you come back. And I am going to drop Bear Form. And cast, which would make the thing leave it's no longer grappled because I'm not strong enough to grapple it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna reach out for Aaron and cast Freedom of Movement on Aaron.
Good move.
And then as a bonus action. Oh, actually, I'm gonna change the order of this. Before I leave Wild Shape, I'm gonna do Combat Wild Shape, which I forgot that I can even do. I'm gonna heal myself. Never mind, because once I leave Bear Form, that doesn't matter anyway. Continue on with the previous plan. I'm just gonna reach out to him, and then I'm just going to head out the door.
Turn out of Bear Form. Cast Freedom of Movement on Aaron. Aaron, you turn and see that Luna grabs the door handles and throws the doors open and begins to make her way out.
Mm-hmm.
End of initiative order. Vasorai is now going to jump in, and at this moment, Hylor is going to make his decision as he looks at Vasorai and he looks at Aaron and goes, "Son, what are you doing?"
I was trying to have talks, but someone wanted to act like a fucking tyrant.
You came into the Duke's quarters and started this.
I did no such thing.
He looks down, he goes, maybe you're right. As he stands on the table, and he looks at Louston, he pulls out a sword. He's going to go over and help out the elites with Visorai and swing on Louston twice with his short sword.
Wait. Aaron's father is attacking me? Tylor's attacking me?
Yes.
Oh, we got a big fucking problem now. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Well, Aaron said, I didn't start it. Somebody else did. Okay. First attack.
That's not what I said.
He took it as an assumption. You're like, I didn't start this.
Play the boss music.
16's gonna miss, I'm assuming.
16 misses.
And then a 22?
Hits.
Okay. You look up and you see as you're trying to get to Visorai, Louston, you see that Aaron's father, Tylor, stands on the table, rushing forward with a sword, and swings down and makes contact with you for 10 slashing damage.
Where is he hitting me?
Imagine like in the shoulder where you're like, grabbing Visorai at, like in the face. He goes for like that arm, like that shoulder area.
And I'm gonna ask, like, what every time that they actually hit and do damage, is it breaking the armor
that you have on you?
Yeah.
How much
like,
damage,
how
much damage have you taken so far?
Not much.
I knew you took some from the Sentinel last week. Like, what's your total?
I'm like 65% full.
I would say since you're that full, and after taking a little bit of a beating between the elite and the the elite and now the attack from Tylor, that a piece of your like kind of shoulder pauldron kind of like chips a little bit, and like a crack, it kind of like cracks off a little bit.
Enough to reveal skin underneath?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You've gotten hit pretty good.
Then 100%. If there's a little crack there, you're just gonna see black smoke coming out of it now.
Yes. Next up is Visorai. He is going to bonus action. He's gonna Misty Step out from the chair and also stand kind of like on the opposite side of the table. So he's like partway. He's like halfway in between Aaron and Luna, and halfway in between you, while the guards and Tylor are on you. He stands in the middle of the table, and he shouts out. And he says, "If this is how this is going to go, then I promise you will not end well for any of you. You come into my throne room, you give me lip, you threaten me, and you then question my methods. What did you expect?"
Not much from a coward king like you.
He draws his sword. He looks over at Aaron and Luna. And he goes, "I want you to know that if you run, we will find you, and you will join this one either in a grave or in a cell." And you see the Tylor looks over, and he looks at Aaron. And Aaron, he looks down, he looks up at you, and you just see his mouth word.
All right.
Visorai lunges, rushing over at Alston as well. Does a dirty 20 hit.
Yeah.
And does a natural 20 hit.
He's attacking twice?
Yes. This is a lord. This is not
Lord of these nuts, bitch. All right, roll damage.
First one, 7 slashing damage.
Cool.
Not very powerful with a sword, but he's not going to throw a fireball in front of at Tylor and the Sentinels. The crit is 12 slashing damage. You notice everybody as you're kind of looking. The more that Louston gets hit, the more chips of armor happens, and the more kind of black aura that begins to slowly reveal itself from him.
Did he hit me in the head?
He what?
Did he hit me in the head?
I wouldn't imagine so. He's probably going for like your arm specifically. He's kind of like down, like you're probably like down like a little bit from him. Maybe there's like a 3-foot difference there. He's sitting on a table. He's just kind of like swinging down at you wildly, however he can, in the midst of all these swords as you're kind of getting beat on right now. Cool. So chest, neck area, all that kind of stuff. So that's the end of initiative order. Let's real quick take a break from that and go to Zorthos, where everything is just fine. Nothing is happening with your friends.
Zorthos. Yeah.
In the meantime, while all this was happening, you do indeed see that Colt was able to prepare. You know, when you started describing like what you needed to get, he's like, I got you. He provides you with what looks like some sort of dagger that you can hide easily within the sole of a shoe. He does give you a few razor blades that can easily be hidden or disposed of. And he does give you something else interesting. He says, so my brother found this along his journeys and felt it was not exactly the safest thing to keep with him. Pretty sought-after item, I must say so myself, but in the wrong hands, who knows what could have happened.
Oh, my hands are great.
Don't make me regret. Don't.
Not gonna do anything
don't
bad.
Make me You see, he's like holding something in the palm of his hand.
I'm just gonna say, just tell him to give it to me, and I'm gonna open up the book and see if his brother can see.
He looks at you and goes, "Yeah, he can't see me, man."
Fuck. Your brother's in this book. You can't talk to him. I'm gonna look at Colt. Tell me something that only you and your brother would know, so I can scare the shit out of your brother.
I used to kick his ass at chess.
Colt says he used to kick your ass at chess.
Motherfucker. How do you know that?
He lives in my book now. He haunts me. I've got to deal with you and him now, apparently. But I'm liking this. This is fun.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. 25.
He's a little taken back, just like, wait a minute, what? And then he's like,
So it's nice you're helping me because me and your brother are still like best friends.
Yeah, so. I get you. Anyways, he holds what looks like kind of like the end of a key, but it doesn't have like the point to the top of it.
Okay. That looks useless.
Not necessarily. He kind of tosses it to you, which is like a little circular thing.
I catch it.
And he points at a chest. He goes, "Go open that chest."
I just cross one leg over the other, and I'm gonna mage hand the key over there to open the chest.
As you mage hand this little like circular thing, that the key that doesn't really have the key portion to it, it floats over, and as it gets closer, it kind of like makes contact with like where the lock is on the chest. And you see before it completely makes contact, some sort of like spectral light begins to kind of like illuminate around the key, and it goes into the keyhole.
That's pretty cool.
And it clicks, and the chest opens up.
Is there anything cool in there? I'll get up and go look. I didn't think that was gonna work. I'm just like, chest!
Yeah, there's nothing in it. It was just to show you like what it did. He goes, "This is an all key."
An all key. That sounds important. I'm gonna write that down. And does it do what it sounds like it says it does?
It does.
It do.
It do.
That's pretty cool.
Easily concealed. High value among thieves. Can open almost any door. Ones that aren't magically sealed.
Okay. That's awesome. So if someone like me magically locked a door, someone else with this key could just bypass that magic.
No, it can open doors that are not magically sealed.
Oh, it can't bypass magic. Okay, I was about to say. Whew. Much do I owe you for all this? Or, are you going to just put it on your brother's tab since he's dead, but we're best friends? And
I assume that one day I'd probably see you again. You'd probably need my services.
Probably. Yeah, probably see you around.
Take it as a gift from me to you in the honor of our brother.
Sucker! I'm gonna just combat roll out of the fucking hatchway.
As you combat roll, Colt comes out of like the book and goes, "Dude, Dick, really?"
But he started it. I didn't forget. Episode 3. No,
go tell him. Thank you.
Colt, you're really cramping my style.
First time I see my brother in a long time, and you're gonna barrel roll out of here.
Okay.
Just tell me.
No, I don't want to hear about this later when I'm trying to sleep. I crawl back up and I'm like, okay, so that might have been a little dramatic. Your brother told me to do it. I felt bad, so I came back to apologize.
Still spectrally there, just like.
Your brother's a wild man. He's crazy. I see how you guys play. Anyway, good seeing you. Can't wait till we see each other again. Colt's brother. Bye. And
go down the ladder.
Yeah, take off now.
Back to the keep, or the spires. Aaron, your father mouthed you the words, run. Luna has walked out. Lausen is getting jumped. What would you like to do, Aaron?
Well, given that my father has told me to run, Louston has told us to run. How far is Luna away from me?
No more than like 20 feet. If that, I imagine she's probably like very close by. She, cast a spell on you. She opened the door. She walked out. So maybe 20 feet, if that.
Okay.
If she even chose to walk out, like she could be essentially even standing by the. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe like 20 feet away.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look back at Louston very briefly and say, "Don't hurt Tylora," and then book it towards Luna, preparing long stride at second level and hitting it on me and Luna.
Okay, Aaron, you walk out, you look back, and you see that the Sentinel is beginning to stand up. And you see that Louston is also looking at all of you. Tylor, your father, looks over at you as well. Louston, you see your friends are leaving. It is currently your turn, as you see that there are the two elites, Tylor and Visorai, that stand and have you sword point. And Visorai looks at you and says, I'm going to give you one last opportunity. You're going to go willingly, or this is where you die. I was willing to just let you sit in a cell and maybe have a talk about this, but then you want to assault me. That is a war crime, my friend.
You want to lecture me about war crimes? Seriously? You?
Continues to remain silent.
After you sent all those people to die in war? Really? You're going to lecture me? You're going to say that what I'm doing is a war crime? You were the aggressor here. I didn't make a move against you. You made a move against me, and now my friends. What could have just been a conversation could have just been a conversation. Could have been a dispute between the people who are actually trying to do something to right the wrongs of this world. We're the ones that are out in the fray, fighting the real battle, trying to save as many people as we can. What the fuck are you doing? Up here in your ivory tower of shit, sending people to die for your wars. Where the fuck are you on the front lines, you bitch? And I'm gonna swing. I'm ghost hand swinging. I'm a haymaker in this.
Go ahead, roll to hit.
That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. All right. So for this, just to be clear, I'm stacking Touch of Death.
Yes.
With the Spirit Shroud that I've already got, and I'm using my last, which I should have said last. I used the first one last turn. I'm using the second one this turn to harness my my cleric ability for this one. 50 damage.
Wow! Holy fuck balls! You
50 damage.
Right
even.
hook rock Visorai right in the face. So hard that he gets sent back flying like 15 feet across the table and almost falls off the other side. As even Luna, with you even being out of the room partially as you look back, and Aaron, you beginning to leave too, you can feel the boom shake of this wave of magic that just makes connection with Visorai's face as you feel the wave almost push you all down the stairs, that the force is so great and grand. Visorai hits the table, tumbles over, and he looks up, barely, just doing one of these, rocking back and forth. You see that there's blood coming from his mouth. You can tell that he has definitely lost some teeth from this hit, and instantly one of his eyes is just like swollen like over the other, almost as he just got in a fight with fucking Rocky Balboa, as he begins to just kind of remain kind of like prone slightly, weaving back and forth. Looks up at you. He looks down, spits a tooth out with some blood. Looks back up, says, you think that I haven't regretted any of the decisions that I've made ever since this whole fiasco began, or any other of the mistakes that I've made over the past 300 years of my rule of Elvenglade, and you are damn wrong. You think that I haven't paid my dues and fought in my wars and fought in my battles, and you are damn wrong. I made a grave mistake as a ruler and as a leader, and you think that I am not mentally suffering because of this? You think that I'm not hurting myself, regretting all the decisions that I made, knowing that some of my people died? Knowing that I had to fight alongside some of them? During the Spire, when it was attacked, I had to hold some in my hands while they were killed by the dwarves that were also manipulated into the situation? You think that I'm not hurting? You think that I don't hate myself already as it is?
Louston is going to... Because he's down on the ground at this point.
He's kind of like on his knee. He's like 15 feet across from the table.
Louston is going to crouch down in front of him to talk, to respond. Then why aren't we doing something about it? Why aren't you listening to your people?
Before he responds, we're going to go to Luna because you have an action you said you would like to take.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
What I'd like to do is toss a healing word at my friend, Austin. And that would be 13 healing. Because healing word doesn't heal a lot.
13. That is so appreciated. Oh god.
I was about to say every little bit helps.
Yeah, that's 13. But that's what I was going to do before continuing down.
Louston was gonna run on fumes in a couple rounds.
Anything else, Luna?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going down the stairs,
Yes,
but I'm
going
gonna
down the
like
stairs.
kind of back down so I can see what's happening.
Yes, I got you. So, back to the little conversation. Sora looks back up. Are you, like, in front of him? Did you, like, get on the table and, like, go to the other side?
I wherever I have to crouch down to get in front of him, so that we're face to face, like right in front of each other, talking.
He got rocked on the opposite side of the table when you hit him. It's like a 30-foot long, like, meeting table, and you punched him on the other to the other side of it.
All right, so then I will just stand there and talk from there. I won't move then. Okay,
Yeah.
Understood.
So he stands. He says, while you were gone, saying you were out in the fray, doing what it is you said you were doing, which I believe that you and your friends were doing, I was also here trying to gather as much intel and listen. You think I haven't been listening? You think I haven't heard different stories, different theories, different mindsets, different ideas, and different plans? I have been listening.
Sora, you're not listening now. You need to put your pride aside for a moment and understand that there are people here who would work better as your counsel, work better with you than against you here. Duke, you think I'm afraid of these constructs you have guarding you? You think I'm afraid of you? You think I would stop if I wanted to end you? I would destroy you right now. I could. But I won't. The world is not done with you yet. There is still much more for you to do. You have to redeem yourself.
By my throne and say that I can be easily taken out by someone like you, and that I should redeem myself?
I'm giving you your throne. I could take it right now. I have no interest in it. I have no interest in killing you. I could. I wouldn't stop. Your sentinels would have to cut me down to dust to get me to stop. But I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing a different path that we can work together. We will need everyone here to fight the Spectre. But you need to work with us. Put your pride aside. Understand that you sent people to join his fucking ranks and learn from it.
Then perhaps you want me to find my bravery again to get out in the world, fight in the front lines, as you say, to make up for my sins and make up for my mistakes. He looks down at his sword. He stands up on the table. You see he snaps his fingers. The door closes. Says, then maybe I should prove myself against someone that thinks they can kill me so easily. And that's where we're ending this week's episode of Secrets of Aal'Teron. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your armor.
Oh,
you.
Yes. Thank you everybody so much for watching this week's episode of Secrets of Aal'Teron. I'm Brandon the DM. Let's go. Let's do make sure we got a lot of stuff coming up. Rolling for Red Nose Day. That's a big one. That is next week on Thursday.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. Donations are live now, though, so if you want to submit to some donations for the cause and the event, the more we get before the event starts, the crazier and more chaotic the one-shot becomes for
Hey, Brandon,
our
who's
players.
attending that?
Say? I'm going to say right now, because we should announce it by then, we're going to have Johnny Stanton, Miles Garrett, Wyatt Teller, Iffy Nwadwe, and Abria Iyengar, all playing next Thursday in Cleveland. It's going to be crazy. Football, NFL, Browns, Cleveland, people that are like D&D alumni. It's going to be cool. We're excited.
Brandon the DM, the Cantrip cast.
Yeah. Weird.
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that?
What a world.
What a world.
Go from making butt jokes about my wife on TikTok to playing D&D with some Cleveland players. Weird. Anyways, Grisquatch, anything?
I stand by what I said about cognitive dissonance with Duke Visora. He's saying one thing, but then doing another. Like, he doesn't believe what he's saying.
Well, Visora is very well fucked in the head right now because of everything that's going on. And you came into his room, and now he is angry. He is getting catharsis right now, is what is happening.
He got childish, and now he got his ass handed to him, and now he's like, all right, well, I guess I need an ass beat to knock some sense into me. Let's do this.
Yes, that's essentially what it is we'll talk about it more in the after show.
Okay.
Anything.
All right. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Grizz's mom.
Woo. I got nothing. This got interesting really fast.
It was a spicy sode.
Yeah.
It was.
Spicy sode.
Yes.
Spice fest.
Thick Pastel.
Hey, it's me, Thick Pastel. You can catch me over on my channel. And remember last week that I was like, hey, I might have something to announce. I'm writing a book. It's called, it might be called The Wolf's Bounty, and it might be about a bounty hunter and a druid. Not related in any way to bounty hunter and druid on this channel. But
it is not for legal reasons.
For legal reasons, it's absolutely not. It's in my own world. I made it up, but there is a bounty hunter and a druid in it, and it's centered around them and their adventures. And the bad guy is really bad. Like, you'll hate him.
Game Master Craig.
Hey guys. We're working on a little special thing, but it's not important now. Red Nose Day is the most important thing. We'll have more updates about maybe a new show that's in the works called Field Trip. And it may include 2 of the people that are on this show, and we'll talk more about that after the Red Nose Day.
Cool. And Steakums.
My fact of today is the definition of treason. The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. In a sentence, that's they were convicted of treason. That's my fact for the day.
Yes.
We're terrorists now.
And we will see you next week on Secrets of Aal'Teron. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.